They once called it empty. An endless ocean of sand. A furnace of heat. Devoid of meaning. Beneath these ever-shifting dunes sleeps the memory of a forgotten world. A colossal lake once larger than Germany. Lost cities that rose, flourished, and vanished without a whisper. And tunnels etched into stone long before Egypt's first pyramid. This is no barren void, it's a riddle written in dust. A mystery that challenges everything we thought we knew about the world's greatest desert. For ages, the Sahara has hidden in plain sight. Once, it was a lush paradise, rivers flowing, forests thriving, animals roaming free. Then came the great turning. The skies dried, civilizations crumbled. And the sand consumed all. But now the silence is breaking. And the desert is starting to speak. In this episode, you'll discover why NASA chose this place over high-tech labs to train astronauts. Why ancient caravans prize salt more than gold. And how some trees in the Sahara found a way to grow upside down. Enigmatic. Mighty. And it's time we finally hear what it's been trying to say. Subscribe now and journey with us beneath the sand to a past long buried but never lost. After this, you'll never see deserts or history the same way again. Beneath the Sahara's endless sea of sand lies a secret. This was once a land of rivers. "5,000 years ago, the desert was alive. Monsoons swept across what is now a barren expanse, filling vast lakes where crocodiles basked and hippos bathed. Neolithic herders followed the rains, etching their lives into cave walls, giraffes, antelopes, frozen forever in ochre. Today, those images crumble beneath the unforgiving glare of the sun. Then came the shift. A slight tilt in the Earth's axis pulled the monsoons away, and the Sahara breathed out its final drops. What followed was a silence so profound it swallowed entire civilizations whole. But the desert is not dead, it stirs. In eastern Algeria, the dunes of the Grand Erg Oriental are restless wanderers, crawling grain by grain across ancient ruins. Roman outposts, caravan trails, all slowly vanishing beneath golden waves. In Morocco's Erg Shebi, the sands hum, a deep, eerie note once believed by Bedouins to be the cries of drowned spirits. Today, scientists know it as the vibration of countless quartz grains, moving in harmony, composing the Earth's most haunting symphony. Yet the truest mysteries lie below. Hidden beneath the Libyan sands are ancient aquifers, reservoirs of water older than the pyramids themselves. The Garamantes, an empire long lost to history, once tapped these veins, carving precise underground channels that rival Rome's best. But even ingenuity could not outpace the desert's thirst. When the wells went dry, their cities faded, erased by sand, preserved only in Tuareg song and memory. And then there was Lake Megachad, a water body so vast it could swallow entire nations whole. Its shores once teemed with abundance. Its depths swam with fish larger than men. Now, only a shadow remains. Lake Chad, a shrinking puddle gasping beneath the weight of drought and demand. From space, satellites still trace its ancient shoreline, ghostly proof that even giants vanish. The Sahara keeps other secrets. In Mauritania, the Eye of Africa stares upward, a vast spiral etched into the crust. Once mistaken for Atlantis, it's now believed to be the scar of an ancient volcanic dome, its rings older than written history. Astronauts walk its surface, training for Mars on a landscape already otherworldly. Robotic rovers destined for red dust test their endurance on sand that remembers pharaohs and prophets. The Sahara is a trickster, a shapeshifter, a timekeeper wrapped in dust. It casts its breath across the Atlantic, feeding the Amazon with the bones of long-lost forests. It buries cities, then unveils them again, centuries later, like a magician with a slow hand. And if you ever stand still long enough, as the wind pauses and the heat bends the air, you might hear it whisper the truth. Nothing here endures, not the rivers, not the kingdoms, not even the dunes themselves. This isn't just art. It's a message, etched in ochre and blood, preserved for 10,000 years, waiting to be heard. In 1956, deep in the Algerian Sahara, French archaeologists uncovered the Earth's oldest open-air gallery. Not dozens, not hundreds, but over 10,000 works of art, silent and still, yet pulsing with ancient breath. What they revealed would forever change how we see the desert and ourselves. These weren't childish scrawls or idle sketches. They were visions, alive with purpose, precision, and soul. Painted with the planet's first chemistry kit, iron oxide for blood-red battles, kaolin clay for ghost-white spirits. This wasn't painting, it was alchemy, pigments bonded to stone through rare desert reactions. Peer closer, the brushstrokes speak. That smile, left behind when mammoths still roamed the north. Those chariots, drawn before the pharaohs even dreamed of pyramids. And these? Boats, sailing across a desert where no sea remains. When fragments of these walls reach Paris, the illusion of primitive Sahara peoples shattered overnight. Their methods rivaled Renaissance frescoes. Their figures danced with motion, perspective, emotion. They were more than artists, they were scientists, philosophers, historians. Today, new imaging tech peels back the layers. Ghostly processions emerge, symbols once lost return. Entire storylines flicker beneath centuries of sandblasted stone. And yet, the silence remains. Why here? Why these visions? Were they teaching us, warning us, or simply bearing witness, knowing that one day the dunes would bury them too? Not all stories end. Some are meant to echo, unfinished, but unforgettable. The Sahara doesn't just test life, it perfects it. At first light, a darkling beetle ascends a dune, its grooved shell capturing fog like nature's own water purifier. Nearby, a fennec fox listens intently, its oversized ears cooling its blood while detecting insects 3 feet beneath the sand. Here, every creature wears evolution like armor, each adaptation a masterpiece shaped by need. Camels, the ultimate desert alchemists, turn fat into water and stamina into survival. Their nostrils close tight against storms, while dense lashes form living curtains of dust protection. At twilight, a caravan halts where maps mark nothing, but the lead camel smells hidden water 50 feet below. Tuareg nomads read the terrain like scripture. The angle of drifting sand foretells storms days in advance. A single date palm shadow can mark the boundary between life and death at noon. Even tea, in the desert, becomes a sacred ritual, each drop poured with reverence, each sip a celebration of survival. Children grow up fluent in sand, distinguishing 16 shades of grain before they can write their names. Midday silence is so complete, you can hear your own pulse echoing in your ears. Then a faint shift as a horned viper sidewinds elegantly across scorched earth, touching ground in only 2 places. As the sun vanishes, the heat retreats violently. Thermometers would short out in protest. The stars emerge so intensely, they cast pale shadows on the sand. Jerboas spring 6 feet sideways on their elastic hind legs, biological pogo sticks built for escape. Silver ants race the clock, foraging only 8.3 minutes, the exact duration their proteins can withstand the heat. A nomad's worn sandal tells a story. Rubber from old tires, stitched with goat hair, desert ingenuity in every step. The Milky Way shines so brightly, desert foxes hunt by its ghostly light. Grains of sand hum as they cascade down dunes, resonating at the same pitch as a cello's low moan. A rock twitches, then scuttles away, revealing itself as a spider in flawless mineral disguise. Dawn reveals hyena tracks circling the camp, always just outside the radius of firelight. Women harvest water from desert tubers, using methods passed down for 7 millennia. One vulture's shadow can freeze a gazelle mid-step, evolution refined into instinctual choreography. Heat waves shimmer, warping not just light, but the very perception of time. At the oasis, the palm that offers shade also hosts fungi whose roots contain natural medicine. Nomadic astronomers read moon cycles and the behavior of scorpions changing their hunt patterns. Nothing moves without reason. Even tumbleweeds spiral with precision, sowing life in their wake. The desert never announces its laws. You must earn them, slowly, through reverence and observation. Because here, survival doesn't mean conquering nature. It means learning her language, one blistering lesson at a time. The earliest inhabitants of the Sahara were far more than wandering nomads. Long before the desert took hold, they fostered a vibrant hunting culture that flourished across green savannas. Their legacy lives on, not in books, but in stone. Rock carvings depict hunters chasing hippos in canoes, paddling through rivers now lost to sand. Others are shown stalking elephants and buffalo across once open plains. These vivid engravings capture not just survival, but skill, coordination, and intent. Nearby, polished stone tools suggest a refined craftsmanship. Spearheads were honed to lethal sharpness. Axes were shaped for precision and strength. Pottery fragments, etched with geometric motifs, point to an eye for both utility and beauty. Some shards bear markings that resemble early writing, symbols repeating with mysterious intent. Could this be a proto-script, a language born in the sands? If so, it would place these people among the earliest record keepers in human history. Their world was once filled with crocodile-filled rivers and lush lakes. Today, only one small lake in the Sahara Mountains shelters their last aquatic descendants. The environmental shift was extreme, from abundance to desolation. But for a time, game was plentiful and water flowed freely. Fish bones found at ancient camps hint at a rich aquatic diet. Seeds and plant remains suggest wild grains were gathered seasonally. This diverse diet could have sustained sizable, settled populations. The complexity of their art implies a structured society. Leadership may have organized large-scale hunts. Shamans may have guided spiritual rites. Rock scenes show processions, dances, and rituals, suggesting social cohesion. But nature turned harsh. As rains retreated, animals vanished and the rivers ran dry. The hunters faced a brutal reckoning: adapt or leave. Some moved south, chasing greener pastures. Others stayed and innovated. Their tools became lighter, better suited for nomadic life. Pottery styles shifted, less ornate, more pragmatic. But what caused their culture to truly disappear? Was it only drought that scattered them? Or did conflict, famine, or disease contribute to their decline? Archaeological records are incomplete. Each discovery opens new mysteries. Fragments of their lives remain, but the full story is still out of reach. Who were these early Saharan people? What beliefs shaped their world? The symbols they carved endure, even if their meanings fade. In their silence lies a history waiting to be uncovered. A civilization lost beneath the dunes, its truth buried in time. The Sahara doesn't just guard history, it murmurs it to those patient enough to hear. Beneath the rolling dunes lies not only the past, but a dialogue between Earth and humanity that still unfolds. When archaeologists lift a stone tool from the dust, they're not just holding a relic, they're grasping the first human technology. A 1.2 million-year-old hand axe, its edge still bearing the DNA of long-extinct creatures it once sliced. A few meters away, radar scans reveal a ghost river lined with hundreds of similar tools, an ancient workshop trapped beneath time. The rock walls of the Sahara form the world's oldest open-air archive. At Tassili in Ager, 9,000-year-old murals animate in torchlight, giraffes led by beings with elongated skulls, swimmers leaping into vanished lakes, even floating figures that resemble astronauts. Remarkably, the same ochre pigments still cling to the stone, their chemical secret lost through the centuries. But the Sahara doesn't only preserve memory, it records movement. A Tuareg's boot uncovers a Roman coin in Agadez, ordinary, until Sanskrit letters are found etched along its edge. Proof that merchants once crossed from India to Africa, long before modern maps drew borders. Today, satellites trace ancient caravan routes aligned precisely with star positions, waypoints mapped by the North Star thousands of years ago. And buried beneath adobe homes in Shingeti, workers in 2012 stumbled upon a vault of 6,000 manuscripts written on gazelle skin. Inside, treatises on surgery, astronomy, and a record of a great light in 1054 AD, the supernova that birthed the Crab Nebula. While Europe slumbered, Saharan scholars watched the skies. But the Sahara's most precious inheritance lies not in treasure, but in preservation. At Gobero in Niger, archaeologists discovered what they called a Stone Age daycare, a cluster of children's graves with turtle shell toys placed beside them. Some clay pots still held fingerprints, perfectly fossilized in the sand. Today's tools reveal even more without digging. LiDAR imaging exposes buried cities under the sands of the Fezzan, their street grids echoing Roman accounts of the Garamantes. Even more astonishing, the ancient irrigation tunnels still flow, now home to albino fish that have never seen light. In the Sahara, survival was never about conquest. It was about harmony. In 2019, when a 3,000-year-old tomb was opened, the mummy inside was preserved not by ritual, but by the dry desert air. On the tomb walls were water-finding instructions, nearly identical to those still passed down by Tuareg elders. This isn't a desert frozen in time. It's a landscape still shaping stories. As dunes shift, new anomalies emerge. A Viking spearhead in Morocco, porcelain from Ming China in Mali, perhaps even remnants of Alexandria's lost scrolls. These finds prove the Sahara wasn't a void. It was a corridor of exchange. Not a wall, but a bridge linking civilizations long before borders were drawn. The true treasure is not what vanished, but what endures, human ingenuity etched across ages. As climate change awakens new layers of this ancient land, more secrets rise to the surface. The Sahara is not finished. It's merely turning another page. And the next chapter may change everything we thought we knew. In 2020, a team of German scientists made a stunning discovery beneath the Sahara's parched surface. Near the Egypt-Sudan border, ground-penetrating radar revealed something astonishing: a colossal underground lake. It stretches across an area of 100,000 square kilometers, roughly the size of Iceland. Contained within it are an estimated 100 billion cubic meters of water, silently preserved beneath the sand. This ancient reservoir may have once nourished the lush landscapes of the Green Sahara. It fed rivers, filled oases, and sustained life across the desert's prehistoric heart. Along its former shores, ancient settlements blossomed. Rock carvings nearby depict boats gliding on water, a vision long lost to time. Fish bones unearthed in nearby campsites confirm aquatic life once thrived here. The discovery of this buried lake helps connect scattered pieces of the Sahara's forgotten past. It likely supported a vast ecosystem, rich and thriving. Villages turned into towns, built beside flowing waters. Herds of cattle grazed along fertile banks, feeding on once abundant grasses. But then the climate changed. The rains retreated, and the Sahara's breath grew dry. The lake, once a jewel of abundance, began to sink deeper into the earth. Wind and sand conspired to conceal it, layer by layer, century by century. Today, it lies entombed far below the desert's surface. Reaching it would require drilling through thick, unyielding rock. Yet its presence sparks a question that refuses to fade. Could this ancient lake bring life back to the desert? Some scientists dare to imagine a regreened Sahara. They envision farmlands, forests, and fields rising from the dust. Desert villages reborn, fed by a water source older than humanity itself. But such dreams face harsh realities. Extracting the water would be astronomically expensive. The composition of the water remains a mystery. Is it clean or dangerously saline? Could millennia underground have rendered it toxic? This water predates human civilization, notes one geologist. It may even predate humanity's very existence. Scientists still debate its origin. Was it left behind by an ancient sea? Or trapped by shifting tectonic plates in hidden faults? The find has sent ripples through the scientific world. It forces us to rethink the Sahara, not as a barren wasteland, but a landscape with layers of forgotten potential. For nations grappling with water scarcity, the implications are enormous. Governments now eye the lake with a mixture of hope and caution. But the Sahara is not easily tamed. Its sands conceal, its heat punishes, its mysteries endure. This underground lake may hold the key to a greener future or remain a secret, sealed by silence and time. The question now is, will it ever be more than a buried dream? The wind doesn't howl here. It murmurs, soft as breath, ancient as memory. Over a sea of golden stillness, the Sahara speaks in hushed tones, tracing stone, kissing dune lips shaped by 1,000 shifting years. And somewhere within that silence, beneath a crust of forgotten air, lies a story almost no one knows. For while the world celebrates Egypt for its Nile, its temples, its pyramids, there exists another Egypt. One without a river, without cities, only sand. He stands where the map frays into guesswork. Libya to his west, the Nile to his east. But here, in this in-between, there's no road, no village, not even a name. Just desert. Yet he kneels. And from beneath a delicate skin of dune, he brushes back time. The object he uncovers isn't merely old, it predates kings. A single carved corner of stone, too straight for chance, too precise to be nature's hand. The Nile gave Egypt life, that much is known. But what kept that life untouched, unbroken through centuries of war and wind? What wrapped it in a silence, shielded it from conquest, and preserved its soul more faithfully than any scroll? The answer lies west of the river, where dunes ripple like petrified waves, locked in an eternal tide. The Sahara, immense, scorching, relentless, covering 2/3 of Egypt's land, yet absent from most of its story. History books speak of Luxor's columns and Giza's stone guardians. But the western desert, they leave it blank. And yet, beneath that silence, the ink of forgotten memory still stains the sand. Once, this desert was no desert at all. "10,000 years ago, long before pyramids, before pharaohs, before even the word king, rain fell upon this land. The Sahara was green. Rivers sliced through sandstone, feeding savannas where giraffes wandered and crocodiles basked beneath leafy canopies. People didn't just survive here, they flourished. They carved memories into stone, etched lives into rock faces, left behind tools and dwellings now buried beneath drifting dunes. Deep in the desert, archaeologists uncovered the Cave of the Swimmers, Wadi Sura, where ancient hands painted human forms floating in what once were real lakes. Today, it's only silence and dust. So, what changed? The skies closed, the monsoon path shifted. Rain became a stranger, rivers withered, grasslands turned to sand. And those people, those early desert dwellers, gathered their stories, their gods, and their memory, and walked east. There, beside a narrow river that still flowed, Egypt was born. The desert remembers. We like to believe the desert forgets, that its winds erase all. But in truth, it remembers more than we ever will. In 2007, satellite eyes peered into Egypt's western sands and caught a glimpse of something uncanny. Perfect circles traced in dust, linear scars running like ancient roads beneath the dunes. Was it a city, lost to time? A temple swallowed whole? Merely a mirage crafted by memory and wind? No one knows, for the desert never gives answers freely. A man called Almasi. In the 1930s, a Hungarian explorer named Laszlo Almasi ventured deep into the Libyan-Egyptian desert. You might know him, he became the inspiration for the English patient. But this wasn't romance, it was obsession. Almasi believed in a place called Zerzura, a white city hidden beyond the dunes. Arab manuscripts spoke of it. Traders whispered its name. It was said to be rich in treasure, ruled by silent sentinels, and guarded by black-skinned giants. Almasi searched for years. He never found Zerzura. But what he did find were caves filled with paintings. People dancing, herds of cattle, images so vivid they felt like memories burned into stone. And they were thousands of years old. Older than the pyramids. Older than writing. Sand that sees. Why does any of this matter? Because it reframes the very origin of Egypt. What if the desert didn't follow Egypt? What if it birthed it? As the rains vanished and the Sahara turned to dust, its people journeyed east, carrying with them memories of beasts, of stars, of sacred dances. They didn't arrive empty-handed, they brought the blueprints of belief. The Nile gave them water. But the desert gave them silence. And in that silence, the memory turned to myth. Myth became architecture. And architecture rose into monuments that still defied time. Tombs without names. Scattered across Egypt's western desert lie cemeteries with no cities to mourn them. At Dakhla Oasis, archaeologists have uncovered hundreds of tombs, sealed, silent, and preserved by the breathless dryness of the sand. No towering pyramids, no inscribed stelae, no names carved in stone. Only bones and an unbroken hush. Some graves date back over 5,000 years, contemporaries of Egypt's first kings, yet buried far from the Nile's embrace. Others belong to Romans, Christians, Muslims, layered like sediment in time. The forgotten Acropolis, spanning empires, surviving eras. As if this place too was once a capital, just not one that history bothered to remember. A kingdom of the dead, written not in hieroglyphs, but in absence. The voices beneath. After the sand settles from a storm, shepherds sometimes stumble upon statues, half buried, eyes sealed with centuries of grit. Glimmers of obsidian knives catch the sun, blades fashioned by hands we've never known. Arrowheads surface, silent witnesses from cultures we've yet to name. In Gilf Kabir, the towering plateau of southwest Egypt, caves hold more than paintings. They contain maps scratched into stone, constellations frozen in time. Roads etched into rock led nowhere, or perhaps to places we've forgotten. Inscriptions cover the walls, lines and symbols in a language no scholar has ever broken. Who made them? And more hauntingly, why? What truths did they carry beneath the dunes, and what warnings did they leave behind? Some say nothing remains, but the desert disagree. Because sometimes, when night falls and the heat lifts, the wind changes. It does not howl. It hums. A low, melodic murmur that drifts through valleys of stone like a memory trying to return. To stand here in Egypt's western desert is to feel your size shrink, smaller than a grain of sand, smaller than the silence. And still something stirs beneath your feet. Not ruins, not relics. But thoughts. Questions. Possibilities. What if we've been reading Egypt backwards? What if the story didn't rise from the Nile, but retreated to it? So begins our journey, not downriver, but outward. Across dunes that hide more than they reveal. Toward temples buried in time, cities erased from charts, and tombs left unclaimed by memory. The Sahara does not forget. It waits, and when it speaks, it begins with the wind.